Happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there and everyone that's enjoying their Mother's Day. Grandmas, stepmom, mom. You know, we know you're the glue that holds the family together. But now, week 1, episode 1. What if you're not actually broken? What if nothing is actually wrong with you? What if the anxiety, the overthinking, the emotional exhaustion, and the heaviness you feel aren't proof that your mind is broken, but proof that your mind has been trying to survive something? Most people don't realize this. Your mind doesn't just break, it adapts. Okay? It learns, it pays attention. And sometimes the very thing that helped you survive one season becomes the very thing that hurts you in the next. Have you ever felt like your brain just won't shut off? You replay conversations, you imagine worst case scenarios, you feel things deeply even when you wish you could just move on. And after a while, you start asking, what's wrong with me? Why can't I just relax? Why can't I just be normal? Why does everything feel so heavy? And this is when it gets dangerous. Okay? Because when you don't understand your mind, you start labeling yourself. You start saying, oh, I'm just anxious, or I'm just broken. Okay? This is just who I am. But what if that isn't true? What if you've been misdiagnosing yourself this whole time? I mean, your mind is not your enemy. It's a protector. If you've lived through stress, your mind learns to stay alert. If you've been hurt, your mind learned to guard itself. If life felt out of control, your mind learned to overthink and overcorrect. Because overthinking, overcorrecting can feel like a way to get control back. That isn't weakness, that's adaptation. Okay, but here's the problem. What protects you in right now can trap you tomorrow. Okay, that makes sense. The guard will become your anxiety, and the awareness of everything becomes fear. But because your mind doesn't know it's safe yet, it doesn't realize that you're out of the woods. There's a place a lot of people live that nobody really talks about. It's not chaos, but it's not peace either. You're functioning, you're showing up, you're doing what you're supposed to do, but inside something just doesn't feel right. It feels off. You're not falling apart. You're doing what you're supposed to do, but you're not okay. Okay? It's like being in the eye of a storm. Everything around you is spinning, pressure, noise, tension, but right where you're standing, it's strangely quiet. Okay? Not peaceful, just suspended. You could tell that the storm hasn't passed. You're no longer where you were, but you're not yet where you're going. And when you're there, you start asking different questions. Not does God exist, but why don't I feel him where I'm at? okay? And not, oh, am I saved? Or am I doing the right things to make God happy? But why am I struggling? What did I do? What did I do? Why am I getting punished? I don't. And if that's where you are, let me tell you something. You are not alone. Not even close. Everyone at some point in their life has felt this way. Everyone. Because across the scriptures, God doesn't abandon people in that place. Okay? He meets them there. Like the Footprints in the Sand poem. Beautiful poem. One of my favorites. But in the Hebrew scriptures, look at the prophet Elijah. A man who stood strong, who saw the power of God, who should have been unshakable, and yet he became exhausted and afraid and ready to give up. Okay, this is one of God's chosen, one of his prophets. Okay, he got scared and he ran. All right, he isolated himself away from everyone. He told God he had enough. I've had enough, God. Can you imagine that? Like, I've had enough of this, God. Please. Okay. You know. And what did God do? He didn't shame him. He didn't rush him. He let him rest. Okay. He let Elijah have a break. And he fed him. And then when God spoke to him, it was not in the wind and not in earthquakes and not in fire, but in a gentle whisper. That, you know, a gentle whisper saying, hey, are you okay? Are you ready? It's time to go. Time to go, Elijah. That was in 1 Kings 19, 11 through 12. In the gospel, we see that same tenderness through Jesus Christ. He never treats people like they're beyond repair. And he meets them where they are. And sometimes healing doesn't happen all at once. There's a moment where a man is healed, but not instantly. Okay? He says he can see, but only partially. Like people are walking around like trees, like he thought he saw giant trees walking around. And then Jesus touched him again, and everything became clear. Okay? That moment shows us something most people miss. Partial healing is not failure, it's progress. Let me say that one more time. Partial healing is not failure, it's progress. So just be patient. So if you're not fully okay yet, that doesn't mean nothing is happening. It may mean something is still happening. Patience. And the Quran carries that same truth in a different voice, but with the same heart. It reminds us that God does not burden a soul beyond what it can bear. Quran 2:86. And even more personally, that he is closer to us than our own jugular vein. Quran 50:16. That means even when you don't feel him, he isn't far. Think about it. Your jugular pumps a lot of blood through your body, right there. You don't feel it, but it's there. Just like God. Scriptures, different language, but the same pattern. keeps showing up. People struggle, and even the faithful people get tired. Even strong people reach their breaking points, and God doesn't just walk away in the middle of all that. He meets you right there where you are, even right in the eye of the storm. Not when everything is fixed, not when everything is clear, but right there in that space where you're still becoming, you're still healing, still trying to understand. And maybe that's the part that no one tells you. Being in that place doesn't mean something went wrong. You're not being punished. It might actually mean something is still being made right inside of you. So instead of asking, "What's wrong with me?" try asking a different question. Like, what has my mind been trying to protect me from? See, because that question, it doesn't tear you down. It opens something up to help you see your pain with compassion instead of shame or downing yourself. And if your mind, now let's take this personally, speaking directly to you now. If your mind is hurting right now, hear this with clarity. You are not crazy. You are not weak. And you are not broken. Let me say that again. You are not crazy. You are not weak. And you are not broken. You are responding to something very real. And healing doesn't start with fixing everything all at once. It has to be done in stages. Just like Jesus and the blind man. Okay, it starts with understanding that you are not alone in whatever you're going through at this point in time. God is not distant from you in this moment. God has you. He's got your back. God loves you more than your mama. And today's Mother's Day. God will take care of you. If he cares for the birds in the sky, I mean, what do you think he will do for the ones he loves? That right there makes me feel so much better on some of my worst days, is knowing that, yeah, maybe hard for me, but God's not gonna let me completely crash and burn. He feeds the birds. Of course he's gonna feed me. He's gonna feed you. It's just God. So, but before you judge yourself again, later today, tonight, tomorrow, pause for a second and ask yourself this. What if I'm not broken? What if I'm just healing and I just don't know it yet? Okay? Think about that. You're not broken. You're healing. Take care. Peace be with you. Give your mom a hug for me. Tell her Happy Mother's Day. And till next week, when we go on to episode 2 next Sunday. Take care.